Welcome in, everybody. Welcome to Underground Crypto. Let me move my microphone over. There we go. Welcome to the Underground Crypto Deep Dive Show, the weekend edition, the weekend version going on over here. Hope everybody has been enjoying their day. Yes, I know. That poor price of Bitcoin, right? What can we say? But let's hop in and see what's trending, see what's breaking down. And let's see what's going on in this chat. Cam's in the house. Appreciate you being here. I expect it to be a little slow. Camsta says, oh, Lifer is still on? Question mark. Is Lifer still on? I actually missed his thing today. I had something going on at that time slot. Greetings, all my beautiful underground peeps. Hope your day is filled with love, happiness, and gratitude. Thank you. That Blues guy in the house. Such an amazing supporter of the channel. Gotta shout you out, brother. Thank you for always being here when you can. And let's take a look. This is the top 100, 1 to 100, you know. And we got Starknet, Decred, Telcoin, and Soon. Soon being down. Soon was running quite a bit yesterday. We went over that. And we just want to keep a pulse on the market over the weekend. Source and Sold said yes, he is. Okay. I probably should have checked that before I went live. Hopefully when he ends his live, maybe a few people will trickle on over. I do try not to go live when he's live. Aerodrome went from 80 to 90 cents, so that's nice. I think I bought most of mine around $1. Telcoin from 0.004 to 0.006 and a half. A very high 0.004. We went over Telcoin yesterday. Soon is another one that we spent a little bit of time on, right? On the week, it's still up like 15%. Much love, man. Yes, back at you. Back at you. And Blues Guy, let me know about tomorrow. I'll have some time tomorrow. Let me know what time works best for you. My schedule is pretty open tomorrow, other than like one thing. So, yeah, let me know what works good for you. We'll have a little chat about Flare. We can invite Miss Williams whenever she is available. So what I want to do now, usually we would just look at this, right? And then we'd move on. Starknet, Decred, Telcoins. Those are the big ones here. We're going to go to 101 to 200, right? Take a look at that. And that's your MemeX, Hex. What is this? CCD. Oh, Concordium. Okay. I wasn't familiar with the ticker. Says, bro, you got to do what you got to do sometimes. It might just be okay to stream at the same time. Yeah, it's going to happen sometimes. Of course, I'm going to try to minimize that. He usually goes, what, 8:30? But usually on the weekends, he's short. He's like an hour or so. So that's why we go 10 o'clock. It's going to happen sometimes. Something's going to be going on. He'll go long. Kalula. And then he says, I'm free tomorrow. Me too. Let's just link up. Let's lock in a time here. Yes, indeed. Or a rough time, right? Doesn't have to be exact. Yes, indeed. Let's find 20 minutes to show you the beautiful finds. I love it. I love it. Let's do it. I mean, what's probably going to be good for me is something like maybe around noon or maybe around like 2 o'clock. I think the later in the evenings, unless it's way later, like before the stream, maybe we could do even like 8 o'clock or something like that. We'll see. We'll play it out. Let's see. What is this Kahlua? This is the reason why I wanted to start doing this, because we could start kind of running through this. Maybe we should come back to this. You know what? I think that's what I'm going to do. We're going to come back to this whole idea here. And because like I want to click on some of these and go into them. But we haven't really run through our top-down, you know, kind of thing. So first, let's look at some prices, right? Bitcoin at $95,766, down 5.9% in the last 7 days. Hate to see it. Ethereum, 3,193, down 5.6%. Very similar. I'm hoping it can hold that $3,000 number. That's going to be pretty pivotal. You know, I think if we bounce from here, we'll stay above it. If we go below it, then we're probably going lower in the whole market, right? $2.24 for XRP, down 1.9% in the last 7 days. So it took less of a hit. Camsta said, I thought you would wait until Lifer was done. Normally, I probably would have, for sure. I just wasn't aware that he was still streaming. As like I said, I had something going on during that time period where I normally would be there on the weekend. And I basically just wrapped up with that and went live and didn't even think to check. Because he normally doesn't go more than like an hour, hour and 20 minutes. And he starts at like 8:30. So usually I have like like almost an hour of downtime in between, the stream. I probably should, but we'll probably still be live when a lot of those people start hopping off there, right? So BNB, $936. Solana, $140. Down 10%. Solana taking a pretty hard hit. Dogecoin down 6.9% for 16 cents. Cardano 50 cents. Cardano never seemed to get much of a run. They stopped it before it did. Hyperliquid $38.74. Chainlink $14.17. Stella 26 cents. Let's see, what else do we care about here? Avalanche $15.64. HBAR 15 cents, and then SWE, one I really just hate to see lose so much, $1.76. It is down 16.3%. Man, they hit SWE hard. Seems like a lot of people got fed up. Cardano equals beard coin. Okay. So let's go into what is trending here. Go to highlights. And let's take a look at what's trending. Look at that. Zcash at the top. Kind of as always. It's rallied all the way to $689. Up 25%. So while everything really took a tumble, looks like a lot of people moved into Zcash. Also, Telcoin is up 95% in the last 7 days. Pudgy Penguins, Bitcoin, Dash up 12.7%. So up, but not as good as Zcash is. Looks like Zcash is clearly the winner here. Filecoin down 25%. Need to drink some water here. Don't see any new projects. I don't expect to see a lot of projects launching, you know. Good evening, good evening. Thank you for stopping by, Grandma. Yeah, I don't see a lot of new projects going to launch in this environment right now. They tend to at least want a pocket of bullishness before they go ahead and launch, right? So let's go look at crypto rank and the fear and greed index. What I really want to look at first things first, 10. So we're still at 10. It hasn't moved. Surprising. Go ahead and crack a ginger ale. I have had the worst pulsating headache for like the last 4 hours, so that's fun. But I couldn't bring myself to cancel the stream. Too many missed streams already recently. Can't make a habit out of that by any means. So fear and greed index 10. Let's go look at what is trending. See if anything different. Zcash, Lena, Starknet. Again, Starknet's been crushing it. I really wouldn't have picked Starknet to really do much, but they must have good, connection. They're doing some good marketing or something. Lido. I haven't seen Lido on the radar in a while. Maybe we'll stop in and just take a look at that so everybody knows what it is. Allura, we've talked a lot about. Think Abstraction, Monad, a layer 1 coming very soon. The token generation event for that. Haven't seen this. What is this? Plank Network with a CK. Okay. We'll look at that. ImmuneFi, we've been over a bunch of times. Lighter coming back up. Is Lighter ever going to do a token generated event? I hope so. I made a bunch of videos about it. Was really anticipating Lighter putting their token out much sooner when I made those videos. Said Underground have taken binders when you were doing your parasite cleanse, because yes, I did. I definitely did take binders when I was doing my parasite cleanse. Let's see, bentonite clay. There was another one that I was taking as well at different times. Then we got Bob. Haven't been over Bob in a while, or maybe even at all on this channel. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Blues Guy. If I wasn't taking binders, that's probably why I have a headache. It's a tension headache. I get them from my dreads every once in a while. If I sleep wrong, and I get my neck, like get a kink in your neck and then don't drink enough water, that combination right there give you a heck of a headache. Headache is often related to anemia, which is caused by parasites. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. But I was off my parasite cleanse for quite a while now, so I'll be doing a much better version of my parasite cleanse next month. So if you have any suggestions, Blues Guy, go ahead and drop those in. All right, without any further delay, let's hop back over to CoinGecko. Was there a project I was going to go over here? Maybe not. Thought there was one I was going to go over here. Okay, no. So we'll just go right to crypto rank. And let's take a look at Lido. Okay, bud, you seem to be aware of your body. That's awesome. Yeah, but I appreciate you definitely, man, for saying something. Because what if I wasn't? Lido is the most popular decentralized liquid staking solution on Ethereum virtual machine. It's all about staking. 682 million in the market cap. Not small. Liquid staking, STETH, a wrapped, version of Ethereum, a staked version of Ethereum here. Lido is all about that staking. And they look very sustainable APYs, 4.2%, 4%. This one has 10%. So Lido's strategy gives a unique DeFi strategy, allocations targeting increased rewards and additional mellow points. It's funny because really all their TVL, or the highest TVL, is in this Lido GGV. Maybe this is as higher risk or something. I don't know. You're staking, so you're not going to lose your initial, right? So that is that. All right, let's move on from Lido. There's not a lot to share there. I just haven't seen it come across the radar in a while, and I just wanted to make sure everybody knew what Lido was. But again, it's one of the biggest staking things in Ethereum ecosystem. All right, Allura, right? Allura, we've been over a bunch of times. Not going to spend a ton of time on it. Allura is a self-improving decentralized AI network. It embarks... No. Get going too fast here. It empowers applications with smarter, more secure AI through a self-improving network of machine learning models. By leveraging cutting-edge crowdsourcing mechanism like peer prediction, federated learning, and ZKML, Allura opens up new possibilities for crypto AI applications. Let's hit that website real quick. It says 41.6 million in market cap. Actually, just want to look at the chart for a half a second. Ooh, that thing is ugly. But, to be super fair to this project and, well, many other projects, everybody's charts look like this right now. So it's a newer project. What can you say? It got beat up. And it's the abstraction layer for intelligence. What does abstraction mean? It means to kind of take away all the complications of crypto from the end user, right? You have abstraction in wallets, because wallets can be very complicated with bridging and staking and stuff. You just want to make it as simple as possible. Your users, at the end of the whole process, they click a button and things happen, and they don't have to think about how it happened nor memorize anything in order to make it happen, like a contract address. All right, so let's take a look at this one. This one actually is a new project as far as I am concerned, because I don't know anything about it. 11.15, if you want to be real specific here, million in market cap. Here's the chart. It doesn't look quite as bad as that other one, but it definitely, same thing, came out, big pump, pullback, quite a bit of pullback there. It's like it's even making a bit of one of these. So you do with that what you will. And let's go take a look at the website. All right, cool. We're up to date on the chat. The world's first layer 0 for AI and DePIN. So it's a layer 0. We've talked about layer 0, layer 1, 2, 3, and even some concepts for layer 4. I think that those are all things you should definitely know. When we talk about that crypto IQ, that's what we're talking about. So they do have a dApp, but let's read a little bit more about what they're about here. So we got AI in the mix, and we have DePIN. What does DePIN mean? We've done whole streams explaining DePIN. You can find them if you're really interested in the subject. But DePIN is decentralized infrastructure, right? So, infrastructure for blockchain technology, I guess, is another way that you could say it. Launch sovereign AI chains, rent GPU for less, train models more efficient, all powered by PlankX. I haven't really decided how I'm going to say this. PlankX. I don't know how I'm supposed to say that. I'm going to go with Plank's decentralized AI cloud. I'm not going to overcomplicate it, spend too much time on that. The new industry standard for decentralized AI. I just want to call it Planko. Really bad, but there's no O there. All right. Inside Plank Lab, you will find the complete crypto layer of Plank, a single place to stake, bridge, swap, and explore. So we have moved out of the Web 2 version of their website. We are in the Web 3 version, hence that you can connect a wallet, right? Rainbow wallet, most popular. That's interesting. But Coinbase wallets, MetaMask wallets, all of that kind of fun stuff, right? I'm not going to link my wallet to every website we go to. That just is what it is. Interoperability, staking, decentralized exchange, governance, how to earn Plank. So stake Plank X tokens in one of available pools. Receive L Plank, which is liquid pool or liquidity Plank, and claim on a weekly basis. So that's how you earn with them. And other than that, what else do we got? Vesting. Connect your wallet to claim vesting tokens. Okay, you got co-staking. Earn from enterprise GPU without owning them. Stake your tokens through a co-staking and sharing rewards from the top-tier data center operations running. Okay. You provide liquidity, you get a kickback, and they have a bridge. How to use it, right? So pretty simple stuff. Very infrastructure, very liquidity. Everything is about AI, DePIN. It's a layer 0. Not a whole lot more to unpack here, except for let's go look at what kind of attention they have on Twitter. And 52.4 thousand. It's pretty good, not too small. Joined in, 2023. They have 1,104 posts. Pin post from August 14th has 280,000 impressions. A decent looking video here, 50 seconds. They've got some attention for sure. And let's run it back. So that was my... I had never heard of this before. So, very interesting. What else do we have here? Bob. Now, I do know Bob to be DeFi for Bitcoin, I believe, right? Yeah, Bitcoin layer 2. Great. Bro, everyone is getting ready for the explosion of DeFi. It's what it feels like. It's very interesting right this moment in crypto. And then if you just aren't so hyper focused on the day-to-day or the week-to-week, how does this stuff not explode? It's like a huge solution and problem for things all over the world. The technology's there. It just feels like your TradFi and your big players are just using their weight. They're throwing around their weight to hold the industry underwater. They're not going to be able to do it forever. Usually the tactic is, and this should be no secret to anybody, the tactic is to hold all of this industry underwater while you slowly seep in and wrap your hands around it and own it and control it, and then you let it run. That's usually how this goes. Flare will be a monster one day. I believe that's very well possible just with the little bit of research that I've done in the Flare. So build on Bitcoin. That's what Bob stands for, right? Bob the Builder here on Bitcoin. It's a layer 2 with a full EVM compatibility and native Bitcoin support. Let's go ahead and hit that website. Reject all the cookies and things. So the gateway to Bitcoin DeFi, Bob's hybrid chain fuses Bitcoin's unmatched security with Ethereum's versatility, unlocking real utility for the world's most important asset. That is really what all of Bitcoin DeFi is really about, right? The premier destination for Bitcoin liquidity, apps and institutions. Starknet is another one here. Hemi is another one here. These are all things that we've watched kind of be relevant. I don't know that any of them have really ran in price very much, but they definitely have been trending and popular. Campsta says he got some Flare yesterday. Blues guy, it's been paying off. People are listening. So yeah, we'll be talking more about Flare after I have a little sit down with Blues guy. He's going to put me on to a whole bunch of information. Bitcoin DeFi is the opportunity of the decade. Today, just 0.3% of Bitcoin market cap is used in true Bitcoin DeFi compared to 30% of Ethereum. That's definitely makes a lot of sense. Let's launch the app and see what they got going on over here. You got bridges, ways to earn. This looks like a swap. This is a gateway, they call it, Bob Gateway. One-click native BTC to a wrapped BTC.OTF over the, no, not over the counter. What does OTF stand for, right? And then here's like a swap, right? To get from your Bitcoin to the wrapped version of Bitcoin on their network, if that's what you're looking to do. And I'm sure you have to do that first. And then you probably go to earn, right? Yield for the hybrid BTC.Pendle Vault will stop accruing on September 8th. So they're having a change with their connection to Pendle. That's very interesting. All right, up to date on that, chat. And then you come here, and I kind of wonder what APYs are here. So BTC Plus or Solve or whatever. What is Solve, man? I should know what that is. Is 7.39 APY, right? Getting noisy out there in my living room. 4.59% APY. All right. So Bob Fusion, the final season. So whatever this is, looks like it is probably over. It's like a lottery. Okay. That doesn't feel like it's worth spending a bunch of time on. They have a bridge, of course. Very, again, standard stuff. What is migrate? USDT and the wrap BTC on Bob are being upgraded. So they're going to migrate contracts maybe? Hold on one second. Let me mess with this fan. Had to turn that fan down. It's kicking. All right. And we'll go to news. Is anything worth? Bob is coming, introducing the Bob token and pre-sale to community. Okay, so is there not a token generation event for this coin? Let's hop back over to Crypto Rank. No. Okay. I heard about Bob a long time ago. I've been hearing about Bob for a long time, so I'm very surprised to see that they don't have a token generation event yet. It's very interesting. 9.5 million in market cap. Or sorry, not in market cap. It says they've raised 9.5 million is what I meant. But then up here it says 7.9 million raised. So I don't know which one is right. But we've done our due diligence here. You know what Bob is. Build on Bitcoin. And you're building Bob the Builder. I don't know. They should work that in there somewhere. Lighter. Do I need to go over Lighter? You know what I mean? Good movie. What about Bob? I don't know if I've seen that movie. Flying Tulip. We spent a bunch of time on Flying Tulip yesterday. I'll pull up the website, hoping it'll just jog a couple of people's memories here. Better yield, better UX. This is Flying Tulip. I took the little accredited investor, thing and connected my wallet. And I got a little accredited investor NFT thing. Probably never use it ever, but it was cool. It was fun to do it. See if we could have enough crypto IQ to just pass their little accredited investor thing without even having to study or, because it was all about their project, right? And so we just went with what made common sense in order to pass it, and we got our little accredited investor thing. Who knows, right, if I'll ever use that. All right, let's look at our top gainers, top losers. So Ghostware. Melissa loves this one. I know she said she was back to working a bunch, so she won't be here tonight, I'm sure, but maybe she'll see this later. Shout out to you, and thanks for always being a part of the community. Ghostware OS, and I think we're going to spend a little bit of time on that for sure. Moonvale is what I mean, and that's GameFi. That looks really interesting. Piverse, we've been over Piverse, the Root Network, Sword Oracle. So even with everything that's going on, right? Moonville is up 227%. Piverse is up 127%, right? Ghostware up 251% just in the last 24 hours, right? So there is still always stuff happening out here. How do we get our pulse on what is going to pump? That's what we got to work on. Yeah. Mel Ghost went nuts. You sell? Oh, she says she's here. Awesome. I wasn't sure if she was going to be here, but I guess this stream is the weekend and it is later, right? Thank you for always being here. Absolutely. And Ghostware. Oh, she says not yet. Got you. Okay. Oh, no, she's saying not yet to Camsta's you sell. I'm all over the place. Thank you, everybody, for being here. So we'll talk about Ghostware some more and some of these things. I want to check out how this lines up with what's on CoinGecko. Top gainers, top losers. So we got a little bit of a different list over here. Matter of fact, how do we not see? Oh, look, React's up 10%. There you go, Blues Guy. I'm sure you're holding some of that. Why don't we see Ghostware over here? If Ghostware is really up 251% in 24 hours, it should be on this list, and it's not. And it is not for some reason. All right, well, that's annoying. I actually want to let's duplicate this out, and let's bring Ghostware, do the lazy copy paste thing. Okay, so they do have it, and they do show it. Like, this is crazy, right? Go to the 24 hour, right? They do have the coin, and they do show the coin up 247%. And then they turn around and still don't put it in their top gainers? Like, where are they collecting this info from, if not directly from their own pages? That's crazy. That's the name of a breakfast chain up here in Montreal. What, Alomon Coco? Okay, that's interesting. Probably means something in another language like French that I don't understand. I don't know as much about Canada as I probably should. 13.5 million in market cap. Definitely never been there. Yeah, it's got a tiny market cap though. So with this thing starting to move and it being very much wrapped around privacy, I mean, Melissa definitely nailed it. There was a pump coming for this thing because it's all privacy, right? And like Zcash has been moving. It's all about privacy right now. You know, privacy coins are running. And it's crazy. Like, again, today I saw another video with Andrew Tate talking about ZK knowledge, technology or proof in blockchain, and how everybody needs to use it. And he's making this bold claim that at some point everybody who has Bitcoin or made money off Bitcoin, you know, they're going to come after you for it, which is crazy. But I don't know. Does he have some intel? Is he doing it to set the internet on fire? I have absolutely no idea. All right, so let's get into this though. Let's not deliberate on that. He gets a lot of attention, and so if he's saying that, it's probably going to get a lot of people paying attention to it. Solana is the ecosystem here. Privacy is the only category they give us. First, before we dive into the token, because I'm going to spend a little bit of time on this. One, because it's a community favorite here, but also because it's privacy and it's a top gainer of the day, right? Just makes sense. So the privacy layer of Solana. Join the inner circle for the first access and surprise drops. That is 5,478 followers. Pin post November 13th has 29,000 impressions. So this thing is relatively small, right? And they just got a strategic partnership with Houdini Swap. We used Houdini Swap the other day when we needed to swap quickly from Ethereum to, Ethereum on Coinbase, right? Basically bridging our assets over. Houdini Swap did that very quickly, very easily, and with little to almost no fees. So Houdini Swap definitely gets some flowers there, and a big shout out for the fact that it worked and it was useful and it was cheap. That's what we all want, right? So the market leader in privacy, compliant transaction, GhostPay, our premier payment offering, will be powered by Houdini's back-end technology. So it sounds just kind of like a little bit of a match made in heaven. We're going to go to their website next and take a look at that. All right. And before we even do that, let's just talk about tokenomics real quick, right? So circulating supply is 999.9 million. And it is just, barely shy, right? If you see where I highlighted this 99, it is just absolutely barely shy of being completely vested and completely out. I think that's pretty bullish, to be honest with you. 24-hour trading volume is only 4 million. I would suspect, you're kind of hitting another top here, right? Well, you see this top up here at about 12 cents, or sorry, 13.4. And what was your top over here? We could just go down to as high as it's been. All-time high was 14 days ago at 26 cents. Or, I'm sorry, at 2 cents, 2.5 cents, right? They're calling that its all-time high at 14 days ago. Okay. So let's get out of the 24-hour, right? And let's go look at the 3 monthly. I think that's what we're missing here. Yeah, I'm so used to always having the max chart on that I probably should have had that on. So November 2nd, 2025, it looks like it was as high as 2 cents, 2.5 cents, or 0.026, a little bit above 2.5 cents. Max chart says this thing has been around since October 24th, 2025. Very new project. It's in the privacy niche. I mean, I would think if you can break about 15 cents, then you're probably headed up to 26 cents to test all-time highs. Does Bitcoin really need to play ball? I don't know, because it's almost inverse, right? Everything in privacy is running against. Everything in privacy is pretty much running against the Bitcoin action. So how does that go? Oh, wow. Looks a little different now. Yeah, I assume you're talking about the chart when I moved it. So let's go look at their website. We briefly brought this up one day, I think. Maybe I looked at it on my own. I can't remember if we did it on the stream because you guys were talking about it in the Discord. Shout out to that Discord. There is a pinned link for the Discord in the description. You can click it, go there, and just be a part of the Discord, right? We always got something going on over there. Although I will say it's slowed down a little bit on the Discord the last couple of days just because the market has not been as much fun, but that happens. The internet sees too much. Ghost it, right? Privacy in a nutshell. So Ghostware operating system erases your fingerprint across comms, wallets, identity layers, run aliases, route through relays, leave no metadata behind. So many narratives around privacy, but it really seems like privacy is becoming embraced, right? Or something, or everybody's running to it for some reason. And the thing is, if your big players really felt like, how to say this, I feel like this is kind of like a twofold thing, right? So if your big players felt like in the future they were going to be found out or held accountable or, you know, come after in some way for using privacy chains and stuff, I don't think they would use it. The other side of the coin is if they're really doing something they're not supposed to be doing in some kind of way or form, they would choose this option regardless. I don't know. Guess you'll have to make your decision about how you feel about that. You know, is privacy a right and something that everybody is entitled to? Just privacy for the sake of having privacy. Other people feel like you shouldn't have privacy, and if you want privacy, then that just means you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing. I think the argument pretty much boils down to that. So we have a dashboard here, and I believe that it is not really, it's not really clickable, right? This is kind of a picture of the interface of what it's going to look like. None of these are actual buttons. So that is one thing that I noticed right away, is that it says platform coming soon. So you are gambling here. It's almost like, I mean, obviously the market speculation, but it's almost like you are betting that they are actually going to deliver on this, right? Could be a rug pull. Never know. Never know. I don't really have anything about the team. Maybe we will do our founders if we can find something on here. So let's bounce back over here and open it on CryptoRank, because CryptoRank's pretty good about giving us some founders. And it really shows that pump really clear. And it fell lower than it had been. And so now you're kind of back above that. You see there at about 0.009, that bottom there. It really pumped that, and then it looks like it even bounced off of it here. Let's see, I could probably put a line on there. Not trying to do a ton of TA here, but it's probably worth at least pointing this out. This is obviously a support and resistance flip. And you got back above it, and then you kind of came down and tested it, and it looks like you bounced, right? Because if you drop this into more like an hour, boom, you'd see a nice bounce. So that looks pretty good. I mean, if you were trading this with some leverage, not saying that you should, I would throw that stop right under there and let her rock. But this is a really harsh environment for something like that. Could go either way, right? And where was I going? Oh, I want to see what the founders were. So we don't look like we have any information on CryptoRank about founders, which is kind of crazy because I feel like we normally do. I don't like, it's privacy, so they have a lot of things built in to hide transactions and things. The fact that they're not, telling us who the people are, and I'm going to double check on their website because sometimes they just don't pull the information very well. It happens. Let's see, socials, legal, so Telegram, Twitter. We went to their Twitter. I just really want to find some doxed members of this team. It does, I mean, come on, for a privacy chain to not have doxed people, that just makes sense. It makes a lot of sense for them not to tell us who they are. So maybe, just maybe, ChatGPT can help us out here. Oh, I always hit the wrong button there. Is there any information on who the founders of this project are? Is the team doxed? All right, we will let that cook for a second. We're not going to Darkstar right now. All right, so where do I want to go here? I want to go back to the website. There's their X. We'll leave that up in case we need it. And I really just kind of want to learn everything that I can about this project real quick. So they have an advanced white paper. That might be just like a little bit too much for everybody. Let's see how in detail this is. And I mean, it's pulling up PDFs and all of that jazz. Yeah, we want to zoom in. So, abstract. Blockchain systems like Solana achieve unprecedented throughput and global transparency. However, this transparency comes at the cost of user privacy. We present Ghostware, an anonymous operating framework that serves as the privacy layer for the Solana blockchain. Ghostware integrates stealth addresses, one-time use addresses delivered via elliptic curve, Diffie-Hellman, key exchange, and scalar binding. That's a little bit intense even for me. All right, hybrid public key encryption, sealed transaction payloads, probabilistic multi-hop routing through a network of relay nodes, adaptive end-to-end encryption, and zero-knowledge proofs based on chain obfuscation. And I'm not going to read all of this, but it shows you with almost any project, like you can get kind of into the meat of this really easy if you're somebody who really wants to know all of these things. Now, anybody... Here's a question. This is a question I want to ask everybody, right? If there was a project, should we just do a poll? Let's do a poll. I think that's a better way to go about this real quick. I'm just going to throw a quick poll out there for everybody. And it is going to say, let's start poll. If there is a project you are really interested in, would you want me to go over the white paper? A little bit of a long question. I'll acknowledge that. But I'm going to drop that in. Go ahead and answer that poll because this will be used in the content that you are going to receive, right? The type of content I put out. These polls are important. They're not really just about engagement. And then drop a 111 in the chat if you engaged in the poll. I just want to see who's with me here, right? I want to see who's paying a little bit of attention. If you click in the poll and you interact, throw a 111 in the chat so I know that you participated, right? Because it doesn't tell me who participated in the poll. Anyways, moving on. That's the white paper. I don't know if anybody really wants me to go over that right this second. But I'm sure if we did go over the white paper, we would probably learn a lot about it. Could probably set ChatGPT up with it. All right, let's come back. Let's see. So I did a review of available information about Ghostware OS and could not find reliable evidence that the project founders are publicly doxxed in a way that meets standard transparency, identity verifiability criteria. Here's a summary of what I found. Key caveats, right? So the official website of Ghostware describes itself as erase your fingerprints from across the, we literally read that, an alias such as Ghost Mask, right? Ghost Scrub and Ghost Relay. On some crypto promotion sites, the project is described as having a public team or co-founders. But those mentions appear unverified and subject to marketing influence, right? So for example, one article in the team behind Ghostware is the teams behind multiple 9-figure tokens, though no names are verifiably given, identities are given. Okay, so they're saying in some places, probably for marketing and SEO, they're saying that the team is also behind other 9-figure tokens. I think if that was, I don't know. I think if it was somewhat true, like they would probably give us some information about it, right? So they could use that. So I got Camsta and Melissa. That's the two people who have promoted, who have, participated. That's the word I'm looking for in the poll so far. See who else is paying attention here, because you might have the stream up, but are you actually listening? So rootdata.com claims the project introduction, team financing, and page for is the list of founders as Spider Crypto, also known as DeFi Brian, which appears unrelated to other sources in the summary. So who knows if that has anything to do with anything. So basically the takeaway here is it could not find anything. I cannot find anything. So I'm just going to say that the privacy coin founders are private. That makes a lot of sense. All right, let's go down the website, see if we can learn some more, right? So why Ghostware operating system as a project? That is a great question. Built for the ones who don't want to be found. So alias everything, one-click shadow handles for Telegram. What does that say? Mail? They made that so small. I know my eyesight's not that bad. Okay, so it does say mail. Also looked like it said mall, but I couldn't be right? So relay intelligence. Messages hop through encrypted ghost nodes. Self-hosted optional. Run your own relay and vanish completely. So that's how you'd be a part of the network. I'm sure there's some kind of kickback for that. Ghost Mask. Auto-generate aliases is the Ghost Mask, right? Masking who you are. Ghost Scrub. Remove traces, revoke approvals, and wipe metadata before it's weaponized. And then you have Ghost Relay. Route every message through encrypted, stateless nodes. Your data never touches the same route twice. No logs, no traces. Not even on our side. Communication like you're nowhere at all. Okay. It's a lot of promise here, right? But they don't have a product. The thing is, like, once they have a product, I'm sure a lot of people will already be positioned and it'll probably already pump. The market's speculation, right? You always got to keep that first and foremost in your mind. People are going to speculate on if this thing is cool or not, is really what it's all about. I don't love to personally put my money into things that don't have a product, because a lot of times they'll rather string you along and never put out a product, or they'll rug pull. Or the third option is they actually put out a product. And I can avoid the other two options if I just wait to see if they put a product out, right? Because if they're going to rug pull you, they're probably never going to build a real product, because that would take a lot of ingenuity, time, know-how, and orchestration and organization in order to put out a real product here. And so I like to see them. It's like Jelly. We went over Jelly the other day. Now this Moonveal is up higher, which was our next coin. But Jelly was running up the other day. Have no idea what it's doing right this second. Actually, I'd be kind of interested to put that in. Here, let's actually go here real quick. But anyways, my point is they don't have a real product. And when you don't have a real product, it's all promises. Yeah, look at that. Look at what Jelly Jelly did. Here's their max chart. Let's pull it into like the monthly, right? Bang. So you were down here in the trenches of 0.08 all the way down to 0.05, like 5.1 at one point. And then you ran all the way up to 41 cents. It's a heck of a run, right? Just even highlight this a little bit, bring it up, right? So from this low down here of like literally 0.051 to 0.41. That's a heck of a move right there. And then all the way back down. 0.069, so 0.07. A little bit higher than where you started if you get the lowest of low, but it's pretty comparable. It gave it all back. I don't know if I consider that a rug pull necessarily, you know. But once you went up and went down, there wasn't a lot of room. What are you going to go back to the lows of 0.00 for? So it's still chilling with 58.1 million in its market cap. There are people who must believe in this coin or something. But anyways, my point is things will rally, but does it have the staying power? AKA, is it really doing anything that we can see? I think I've harped on that enough. I do apologize if that was redundant. Moonveil Studio is a Web3 gaming studio comprised of seasoned professionals with extensive expertise in the gaming industry. So we see a lot of things right now about gaming and Web3 gaming, and there's just so much attention around it in the crypto world, right? But nobody's really delivered anything extraordinary, right? You don't see everybody raving about something like once upon a time we had some projects that we did. The name of it's not coming to mind right this second, unfortunately. But yeah, there's been several really good projects that have come and gone that really stood out because they were real play to earn and people made money. They just didn't last because nobody has really been able to figure this out and solve it. I do like what some of our community members have brought up before is that everybody wants play to earn, but play to own might be a better narrative for long-term sustainability. But anyways, my point here is even though nobody's really delivered it, that's what makes this so hot for anybody who can figure it out. They're going to make a lot of money. And they're going to maybe even set the standard for other people to come in and copy their, setup, the way that they went about making their project work. And then maybe somebody will finally solve this. It's innovation in a category, sector, technology, whatever you want to call it. It's innovation. And somebody is going to innovate in a way that it works. And they're going to set the standard. Just like somebody first made out, games in general that worked with an operating system and a console that you could buy, and they put games. Like somebody had to figure all that out. This is just the next evolution of it. How do you make it to where money is generated, rewards are given, assets are owned, non-fungible, NFTs, all of that stuff? How do you make it work without the money, without the need? Here's the thing, like a Ponzi scheme, you need new people coming in to pay the whole thing moving forward. The minute that new people no longer are coming in, or they're not coming in at the rate that they should be or need to be, it dries up and everything goes down the tube. How do you solve it? Enough of that, right? So let's look at Moonveil. And I just want to go straight to games, right? Isn't that what we're here for? They have some staking. So when you click games, nothing happens. Explore more universe. Maybe if I scroll down, we'll come to it. So it's got this whole universe kind of thing. It is called Moonveil. Own your destiny. We're going to hear the promises of a lot of Web3 type stuff, right? Own your own stuff, have your own, characters and NFTs and stuff. That's what we're going to see. So with Game Excellent at our core, our vision is to craft authentic Web3 game-centric experience tailored for next-gen gamers. So they want like a high standard of gaming because that's what gamers are used to. When somebody gets together and makes a game for the PS5, they're not really concerned with having to solve a lot of these issues that you would have to solve in the world of blockchain gaming. So it's easy. they can put out an incredibly high level, right, of gaming, like graphics, you know what I mean, and smoothness that it runs, and the bosses and everything that goes into the game, right? They can really focus on that. When you're doing blockchain gaming, you have to focus on a lot more than just that. So let's see, you can download this one, Hunt the Mist. So which ones of these are playable, right? Mini games. So it looks like they have some games. You know, here on Underground Crypto, we love us some DeFi gaming. That is for sure. Definitely love some DeFi gaming. So let's see what we got going on here. Here's a hub. That's where we really want to go. Because when I was clicking on games, nothing was happening. So Moonveil Mini. Simple fun for everyone. But here's the thing. Anybody can make these simple games. Do they have a DeFi element? So this one says play to airdrop. Now, I've been looking at quite a few of these. Cappy Bobo, one that I brought up many times. If you go to the Discord, Discord link pinned in the chat, also in the description, join the Discord, and you go to the DeFi link. It was one of the first projects I put out. It's called Cappy Bobo, right? It's under this chain of games called Catizen, and they have a lot of games now. Well, some of them had airdrops. I did receive an airdrop. No idea how much it's worth because I don't think that they haven't done a token generation event yet, right? So that's very interesting. My whole point is these simple play to games can be a good way for them to do airdrops. How do I actually play this, right? Because this is just pictures of the word play, but none of these are actual playable. Are they on Telegram? I don't know. Let's go take a look at their Twitter, though. Are they getting any attention? Wow, 347.3 thousand followers. This is for Moonveil altogether, right? Moonveil altogether. It's not just for, you know, that one game. But that's pretty good. It says they have 810 posts from June 2023. I can never really trust this, right, when it joined, because it could just be a recycled Twitter. Somebody they started with, had a few followers, just why not? 50,000 impressions since August 20th. So nothing crazy. It says Moonveil Season 2, Explore More Universe is live now. More Universe is live now. So it looks like a few things have been coming up here. So what's the platform? I was really hoping like we were going to be able to play this as a simple game. It says log in. Of course, we want to use our MetaMask wallet. Because why wouldn't we? I only see 2 people that said 111 and interacted with the poll. Where are my people at? A little bit disappointed to see that. Shout out to the 2 people who participated. Maybe people didn't hear the whole put 111 in. So please note that you are about to create a new account. If you wish to we're going to need a new account because I don't have an account yet. Welcome to Moonveil Season 2. Explore the More Universe. Okay. This looks pretty cool. So we're just checking this out. This, for anybody who's just hopping in here, this thing is trending and it is up. Of course, it doesn't give me the numbers here. We got to back up. It's up 240% today. Why is it pumping? Don't know. We just went over Ghostware. We actually dived into it pretty deep. It is kind of a crowd favorite here. So participate in the latest season exclusive quest, complete tasks to earn rewards and level up your season pass. Okay, well, hopefully they don't want me to buy a season pass. Don't usually take Saturdays off. Maybe people are just used to no show. So don't you usually take Saturday? I did take 2 Saturdays off in a row, but I usually do stream Saturday. Maybe people are just used to no show Saturday nights. Yeah, it's possible, but I can see that there's 12 people here, you know. So I don't know why people are not participating in the poll, but it's cool. It's no big deal. Let's see. 60% said yes, they would want me to go over the white paper here. 5 people voted, right? So 5 people voted, but 2 people put the 111 and let me know that they voted so I could see that they're interacting. I'm not complaining. Like, don't get me wrong. It is what it is. Sometimes just engagement is hard. Sometimes people are behind. I don't know. Anyways, we're going to talk about this. Explore the Moonveil multi-game universe. Dive into the story. Discover the gameplay. And join the game events. Engage in staking and trading to boost your portfolio and access more rewards. run your node, track their performance, and build the Moonveil Layer 2 chain ecosystem together. Last one here, stay updated with the latest news and announcements from Moonveil. So this is pretty cool. Hopefully they got me in there, right? They got me in there. Am I connected? It's kind of acting like I'm not. Okay, so I am connected, it looks like. Yep. Bang, bang. Hopefully that means I could play some of these games now, right? Is that how that works? Or is this just like a Web 2 kind of thing here? All right, you even get notifications. I like the setup here, I do. Play now, but it says I have 0 tickets. So where do I get tickets? Seems like there's quite a few things that you got to figure out here. But it wasn't showing this before with the tickets. Man, if I just, like, can I just read what I want to read? In progress, coming soon, staking. So the loyalty program, referral program, season pass, reward store. Some cool things to unpack here, actually. Let's go over to the season pass. Let's see what this is about, see what it costs, all that kind of stuff. Moonveil Entertainment. Explore the more universe. And yeah, Camp said I wasn't talking about people being here or not being here. I was just talking about the poll. So let's see. It says I have something I could claim. What could I claim here? You have the standard pass, which you can claim, or the premium pass. Upgrade to premium pass. Let's see what the heck that is about. All right. So if you meet any of the following conditions, you can claim a premium pass for free. Terra NFT holders are eligible for the claim of the premium pass, and then a badge. Users holding selected high-level badges can also claim the premium pass. Okay, I don't know anything about this ecosystem, and I don't know what any of that other stuff is, so let's just claim the standard pass here. You have been rewarded 10 MB. Don't know what 10 MB is. I'm hoping they're those little tickets. So welcome to the Quest Center of Explore the More Universe season. Complete as many quests as you can possible to boost your season rewards. So at this point, I mean, we are basically airdrop, you know, farming for airdrop. So we're going to follow them. Bang. Why not? And then I guess we'll bounce back and hit verify, right? Boom, verify. Connect. Oh, you got to like connect your Twitter in order to verify. Whew. Got to do all of this stuff. It's kind of crazy. I probably should have read what it could do and what it can't do, right? That would have been smart. All right, so we got 10 more MB. Follow these people. Follow. I mean, this is relatively easy, right? I might as well do these real quick. Can always just unfollow them later. But this kind of gives you a little bit of an idea of other projects that they're connected to, right? Takes a big team to build these things out. Follow MJ. Who is MJ? Oh, Moonveil Meej. All right, we followed him. Says he's an ex-banker. Is that a good thing or no? I don't know. And we will hop back here and verify. And then I'm going to go see if I can actually play something. This is pretty interesting. I do love when we find something new. And I never know. That's why I hop on here and we deep dive together as an underground crypto family. We are looking for these gems that are just right under the surface, right under your feet. They are underground. And let's see. Okay, so I didn't get any tickets. I was kind of hoping there was going to be tickets. I mean, in this mini game's probably super simple and not that exciting, to be honest with you. Okay, so no answers there about tickets. Let's go to whatever this thing was that we were at before. I'm not really sure. Is there a game anywhere? This is what happens a lot. You get like into this like so-called GameFi, and then like you can't find any games anywhere. It's almost like they've gamified simple things like we need people to follow our Twitter page and stuff like that. I mean, they had a lot of followers. You saw what we just did. We went and followed them through this kind of funnel It's probably how they get people to follow them, right? Because what is level 2 here? They don't tell us, huh? I can't really know anything about it. So this is level 2 on the quest. So what do we got here? Follow these other places. Oh, we already did that. Verify your Steam. Join their Discord and Telegram. I'll have to play around with this a little bit more. I was really hoping that we could like maybe even find a game or something like that. Check my season pass. I would like to collect some airdrops on this, right? It'd be cool if we can come back later and actually collect some airdrops. A Muse node. It's weird. Isn't Muse like a... I have a different company called Muse that I use as a audio plugin for Audible. Token generation airdrop. That sounds like something I'd want to know more about. Campsta says it's all smoke and mirrors, bro. Yeah, are you referring to the funnel to get people to follow them on Twitter? So click to check your season 1 airdrop availability. Obviously, I don't have any availability for airdrop. I did not participate or even know about this coin at that point. Let's go about airdrop. So this is more about the airdrop that just happened, right? The season 1. So you try to get into season 2 is the idea here. But, you know, after you kind of do what they want you to do here and do their quests, which is just really a bunch of self-serving stuff, right? Like, are they really quests? Like, follow me on Twitter. Premium pass, LOL. Yeah, right? When you get to layer 2, then it makes you kind of wonder. I mean, let's be honest. Layer 1's pretty easy. Follow some Twitters and join a Telegram group. And I can, after I verify, I could just, you know, unfollow any of these. So there's that. And then you go to level 2, and we don't really know what level 2 is. So stay updated on that. I'll post that probably in the Discord at some point. I got to write like a little bit of a storyboard is probably not the right way to put it, but I need to write like a little vision board out for all the different things that I have going on, so that I can make sure I deliver on a lot of these things, because it's easy to get a lot of things going at one time, like how we were working on, where is it? A lot of people really didn't love this game, you know, which is fine. I'm not about to play it, so don't worry, don't panic. Not about to play this game. But this was another one that's new, and it has an airdrop. I bought the little game pass on, and we're gonna see if we can farm some airdrop on it, right? And the pass was like $5, right? Nothing crazy. Yeah, give us your mother's maiden name for level 3. Camsta, you're hilarious. Yeah, exactly, because they're gonna steal everything. I honestly need to go back to my Twitter and disconnect them from having access to it. We'll do that. The things you do for the community and the channel. So Piverse is another one. We've been over Piverse quite a bit. If Moonveil does do anything, they're really small market cap. Again, Ghostware. Oh, this is volume, not market cap. Sorry, guys. They get me every time with that. So we just rolled through our first hour here. Shout out to anybody hopping in. Please smash that like button and subscribe if you love learning more about crypto and raising your crypto IQ. Let's talk about Piverse, right? I believe Piverse was talking about TimeFi. Man, I'm good. I remembered. Piverse is an AI TimeFi on BNB chain. We've heard of all kinds of different FIs, right? It's kind of like, you know, those Vietnamese pho noodles. You know, you have all kinds of different pho. This is like Fi. You have DeFi, TimeFi, MetaFi, all kinds of different crazy FIs. Well, let's talk about a new one today. This is a new FI. You might not be familiar with TimeFi. TimeFi. Piverse timestamps. Timestamp everything of value. Why would you want that? Well, it's kind of like a receipt. I mean, you have the blockchain, right? You have different explorers on the blockchain. So let's dig into this a little bit again and see why you might want a timestamp. Blockchain timestamps plus compliance intelligence and business-ready payments. Immutable proof of time. Business integration, security and compliance, and document verification. This seems like it's very more something for somebody on the back end of a business maybe who, most likely a business that's very much in the blockchain world, to have receipts for things that are super verifiable. So simple UX, which is like userability, right? Create professional invoices in under 30 seconds, one-click wallet connection, no crypto expertise needed, works seamlessly across desktop and mobile. Now, one thing that I will say that I think would be amazing is if they built this so that I could put in my like wallet or a couple of wallets, and they could just run me a receipt of all the interaction between those couple of wallets and make it ready for tax season, right? Because, oh man, these tax people out here who do taxes, when they get into the space of having to figure out crypto stuff, probably ripping their hair out, I would imagine, unless they have somebody who's already built, you know, a digital product for them to do that with, which I'm sure they do. But they're probably charging those people for it at the same time. Doubt it's free. So if you've ever done crypto related taxes, you kind of want to rip your hair out, because, you know, you move money from this wallet to another wallet to another wallet back to this wallet, and now you have to figure out, like, if you made money, if you lost money, how to report it. If you use an exchange, a centralized exchange, that is, you know, they have ways that they want you to go in and export, you know, all of the different transactions. But of course, then you have to put it in a format where they accept it. It's a nightmare, honestly. If anybody has any good recommendations, I did see a company when I was looking for companies I might want to, you know, enter into an affiliate kind of agreement with. There was one for taxes, which I thought was really cool and I thought people might like, but I've never used them. I don't know anything about them, so I have to do a little bit more research on them, right? Got to spend a little bit of time on that. Ledger. I brought up Ledger the other day. You know, we have the affiliate link for Ledger, and it's in the description if you're interested in Ledger. That is a cold storage wallet. If you don't know why you need a cold storage wallet, throw a 222 in the chat and I'll go over it. But regardless, I've never used them. I'm trying to remember what they were called. I could find it at another point, but I got to look into them. But I've never used them, so I feel weird promoting them. I got to dig into them. Anyways, I've said that enough times now. Let's look at the Root network. Which, what was it up? 70 something percent? Yeah, 74% right now. The Root network, a public decentralized blockchain network optimized for metaverse games, metaverse apps, games, and experiences. Only 2.9 million in its market cap, so that's not phenomenal. Shout out to CryptoRank and all of its many pop-ups. Wow, look at that chart. And that's on the daily, right? So it's been around a little bit since November, or the 22nd of November. Wow. It's gone basically to zero. Wow, it went below what it came out at, right? That's wild. They don't have it on here where you can flip it. One thing I really like about CryptoRank is that you can come flip the chart into market cap, and I could see exactly what this market cap was. You know, at its highest, at its lowest, that kind of thing. Any founders here? No founders. No founders at all. ROI is negative 90%. Interesting. Let's look at the website. Now, why is it pumping today? I have no idea. Rooted in open gaming. Gaming just always getting whooped, right? Now, WB, Alibaba Cloud, Unreal Engine, Reebok, Ripple. I mean, these are touting some big names here. Anybody could throw these names up, right? Unlock the magic of open metaverse. So are they just getting hammered because everybody's dumping? Is it because they didn't deliver on things when they were supposed to deliver on things? They have games here. This one says play now, you know. I don't know if it really is playable or not. That's just such a big problem here in GameFi, right? There's just not a lot of games that you can actually play that have much going on. Shout out to anybody who comes to the Friday gaming stream. A lot of fun. I had a lot of fun on Friday. That would have been yesterday. Anybody who's not playing along at home. All right. Just getting rid of tabs that we don't need, dialing us back in. So we have this Noble USDC. Let me refresh this. I bet it's changed a little bit, right? That's crazy. How can something that's down 0.5% be in your top gainers, your top losers? That doesn't make any sense at all. Anyways, we'll just ignore it. It's a USDC anyways, right? So it's a stable coin. It shouldn't be down 0.5%. So we got Surge. We've been over Surge before. 58%, 57.6% here. 37.2 million in market cap, a billion token max supply, circulating supply 490 million, BNB contract, base Solana contracts, no categories, and let's check out their website, surge.xyz. And tokenizing startups, democratizing finance, and decentralized AI native ICM platforms. Coming soon, right? App is coming soon. Okay. Thought I said API. Surge ignites an era of financial built on universal basic ownership, bridging the gap between Web 2 companies and Web 3 investors. What if any builder could have an easy way to scale? What if any investor could be first to get the next big thing? I mean, this seems so vague and open-ended. Surge unlocks a direct path to decentralized capital market for innovative tech AI startups by granting an equal and early investment opportunity to all. Sounds great. Sounds like they're saying they're not going to make you jump through a bunch of hoops. Sounds like they would be a liquidity provider or an incubator of different DeFi projects. Chart doesn't look horrible. Let's go to the max chart though. Yeah, it's been up only here. 478% on the max chart. Interesting. This is interesting. I don't know why this has been doing well, but it has been. Again, November 4th, 2025. It doesn't really look like it's been all that affected by the recent Bitcoin stuff. Maybe here it pulled down. Very interesting. See if there's anything else interesting here. Obviously, we could click on every single one of these and go over every single one of these. We just went over Starknet and Telcoin yesterday. Syndicate, we've been over many times. River, been over many times in different ways. Decred, Reactive Network. Co-AI is up a little bit to 83 cents. Maybe that thing's going to run. It's Surgeon. Yeah, it probably is. What was I calling it? Surge? Surgeon. It's Surgeon. I'm not sure what you're talking about here. It's spelled S-U-R-G-E. That is Surg. Oh, Surg. I mean, I can see it being Surg and not Surge. But where you get the I-N from. Not that it really matters. Everybody can clearly see it spelled right there if they wanted to look it up or were interested in it. Zero Gravity, still on the radar. Very interesting, very interesting. Glad to see Ghostware was doing something. The Surg is the word. The Surg is the word. Surgin. Gotcha. Okay. Of course, this is never cooperating. So what else do we want to look at? Got some random coins here with token unlocks coming out. I do love that they have this, little token unlock thing. Don't see any coins that we really care about here other than Monad, which is interesting because I'm pretty sure the token generation event for Monad hasn't really happened yet, has it? It says 8 days and 9 hours. What happens when you pull this up? This is preview only, yeah. So they haven't had a token generation event. Are they saying that they will do the first token generation event in 8 days and 9 hours? That would be very interesting. So small. So here's some new coins. See if there's anything worth looking at here. Lots of these Chinese coins. I swear that we used to never see these Chinese coins come across our radar. Director Lucian. I'm good on that one. They can keep that one. Hero Panda. Mother Vegetable. ZK402. Probably not anything exciting. Let's see what he's saying. Serging is a sewing technique used to finish the raw edge of fabric to prevent them from unraveling. I'm a tailor fan. I also make my own alterations and stuff. Okay. That is interesting. Thank you for that insight there. I could see how they would be weaving together the blockchain or something like that. So I don't know what this thing is. It has 31.8 million in its market cap. That's not too shabby. Max Chart says it came out November 15th, 2025, which of course is today. So they already have a good bit of money in it. So is it legitimate? It's on Pump.Fun. That kills me, you know. If you're going to launch a legitimate project, why would you build it on Pump.Fun? To me, that just really hurts your credibility. So let's see. You into that cosplay, says Blues guy. Camsta, you're hilarious. I wouldn't doubt if Camsta's also into that cosplay. Let's see. We got a new person here, which is Heal. MRRA Heal. A Heal. I'm just going to call you Heal. Do you think Jasmy Coin is a dead project? It's the first time I've seen that username in here. Welcome in, welcome in. Smash that like button and, you know, join the Discord if you're interested in this kind of content. Subscribe. I will actually stop what I'm doing and go look at Jasmy. I do own some Jasmy. Probably one of my worst buys in crypto. Not going to lie. I'm not exactly sure when I bought it. I don't think it was the highest of the peak, but it was probably in here somewhere. It says, haha, it takes one to know one. Shots fired in the chat. So Jasmy still has 434.1 million in its market cap, even after all of this pull, right? So let's do a little zoom in here. A lot of people probably don't know that you can do that. And let's look at like the height of... Oh, it's not going to give it to me. Let's take a look here. All-time high was $4.79. All-time low. And that was 4 years ago. It's not going to tell me the market cap, though. So I got to try to get as close as possible here. So the market cap was $2.8 billion. And now we're at $434 million. I don't know if I would say it was dead. One thing I'm going to do here in my is pull up ChatGPT and say the crypto project Jasmy. Does it have any relevant news lately? Is there anything come out about this coin? Seems pretty dead. I'm wondering if there is any new news or hype around this coin. And we'll let that thing cook for a minute, right? Oh, Jasmine, I did the wrong thing. Right. Did I spell it right? Tell me I did good. Yep, I did spell it right. Never won any awards for spelling in my life. So we're going to let that cook for a minute. It also looks pretty dead to me. Yeah, it does. And it was supposed to have like this partnership with like Sony or something like that. Well, here's the thing. You go to the website and it's like completely in another language. This is what kills you, right? Oh, it does have an English side now. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've been done this. So you click English and then it doesn't put anything really in English too much. Towards a new era of consumer-orientated information, the Jasmy Internet of Things platform aims a better society with safety and security. So you could tell this is pretty foreign. I mean, for me, you might live over there. Mr. J was here, or the Prime Minister of Japan, maybe he could decipher a lot of this for me. I've dug into this before. It is very much about, Internet of Things and like consumer orientated information, right? I'm not just trying to regurgitate what they said, but I don't know exactly what category to put it in, to be honest with you. Why did it blow up in the first place? I don't know. Is it doing anything lately? Well, let's refer back to ChatGPT and see what's going on here. So here's a breakdown of the Jasmy ticker, what's happening, what's promising. So what is happening, some positives, project updates, on-chain developments. Jasmy recently launched a layer 2 network reported in November 2025, that would be very recent, that uses Jasmy as its gas token and aggregates devices, Internet of Things, PCs as assets. On-chain data shows accumulation. Reserves on exchanges are at yearly lows, meaning fewer tokens for sale via exchanges, which can be a bullish indicator. I'm liking that. I'm sure they're going to give us all the negatives here in a minute, right? So hold your breath. Analysis are pointing out that Jasmy is aligned with the growing themes of data sovereignty, Internet of Things, and Web3, and Japan's regulatory position, niche but relevant. Positioning niche but relevant. So I mean, Japan is pretty bullish on a lot of this stuff, but is Jasmy going to get a piece of that? I don't know. So price, market signals. Okay, so this is just about price. I'm not as excited about that. Some reports say that Jasmy could be prepping for a breakout, citing technical setups on volume and whale wallets buying. As of the latest, Jasmy is 0.008. That's what they say. I haven't checked it. 434 million. Yep. So what are the red flag reasons it may feel dead? Long stretches of underperformance. Whoa, you could say that again. I think I will. Long stretches of underperformance. Jasmy peaked out around $4.99 back in February 2021. Currently, definitely did not buy it that high. Massive drawback, down 99%. And well below the speculative hype often resides. Technical indicators show strong sell signal, though 1 week to 1 month ratings from TradingView show strong sell. Low-key adoption, unclear burn dilution mechanism. So not doing the best with the adoption. High supply, macro altcoin cycle dependency, right? Got to get an altcoin season. And then it's trying to kick me out some data about if I wanted to make a video or something about it. I don't know why it has to do that for every question I ask it. That is so annoying, especially in a new chat. Blues Guy says, Japan is awesome. Finally feel free from the debt clause. Opening their doors to the world. I love the culture so much. Yeah, I'm with you on that. And to Heel, who asked that question, my response is that I don't know when you got into this thing. I know when I roughly got into it. I don't know if it's dead. It might do something. It might not. I'm just going to hold personally. Not financial advice. That's what I'm doing. I'm just going to hold it because I'm down quite a bit on it. So it doesn't make any sense to sell it for nothing. And hopefully when we have an altcoin season, I at least get back to break even. That's my plan. Does seem like there is some stuff going on. It says that they did launch a layer 2 for Jasmy this month, right? It's November right now. It's the 15th. And so it's Internet of Things, it's going to be commerce and stuff. I could see it eventually doing something, but it needs some big partners, right? It needs some big players to come in and put some liquidity into the market cap, not their treasury, because a lot of times these coins have separate treasuries that are not the market cap of the coin. So just keep that in mind. And best of luck to you and also me on that coin and anybody else who's invested in it. Anyways, this is ZK402. We've been talking about the X402 narrative. It doesn't say X402. Okay, so it does say X402 ecosystem. Kind of interested to see what's going on here. Double opening things. So ZK402 is the next-gen privacy protocol combining zero-knowledge cryptography with X402 payment layer, enabling private, verifiable, and fully on-chain transaction that preserves both confidentiality and compliance. Ooh, yeah, he says, I'm down 10K. UK pounds on Jasmy coin. I've got no choice but to hold and hope it goes. or go broke on it. Yeah, I mean, I feel you. I've been in that position a lot of times. You are in it pretty heavy. And that's a net worth thing. It might not be heavy for you. It might be heavy for you. Either way, I'm not trying to sell you hopium. I've held things many, many, many times in crypto that eventually did at least come back to break even. Now, I'll tell you that you should have a strategy and a plan, and you should probably stick to it when you make your strategy and plan, because what a lot of people tend to do is they tell themselves, if only it could go back to break even, I would definitely sell it and get out of it. And then it goes back to break even, maybe even slightly into profit, and they don't sell it. And you go back down into the roller coaster. Maybe you go into a bear market or a bear trend again, and then like you're right back into the same emotions of, I should have said it, sold it, you beat yourself up. So set a plan, and then do your best to hold yourself accountable to the plan that you set. It's not really financial advice because I didn't really tell you anything specific to do. I feel you, bro. Happened to me. Yeah, I've been there a bunch of times, and I've lucked out. I haven't had to sell a crypto at a loss unless it was just like the tiniest thing and I just consolidated like a couple of bucks because I wanted to do something else. I'm pretty stubborn in that manner. I will hold a long time to make sure that I don't have to sell at a loss because I don't need the money back right this very second. But we'll see. It'll change at some point. If we never get, we go into a bear market for the next 4 years, probably going to have to sell some things for some losses. We'll see. Or I might just hold them. We'll see. Privacy first deck. So this is all X402 narrative. I kind of am liking a few things about it. So I don't know if I really want to connect my wallet to it. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we'll touch on this again. I'm going to write it down here real quick. So what is it? ZK402. I like that it's brand new. I like that it's all 402 narrative. I like that it has ZK in the name. Let's face it. All of this stuff right now is speculation and stuff. I would like to get into their app. I don't know if I really want to link. Deliberating here. Said I'm buying the dips at the moment on Jasmy to get my average down. It can be a great strategy. It can also just drive you farther in if it continues to go down more. So I understand if that's a lot of money to you, that money you have in it, I can understand why you'd want to dig yourself out of there. Can't tell you what to do with your money. If it was me, I would probably do what you're doing, but I wouldn't go crazy with it because I wouldn't want to put myself in even farther into the hole, right? And I hope for everybody's sake who holds it that it gets at least some kind of pump when we have an altcoin. If you see altcoin season, even if it's a tiny altcoin season, if you see it come and go and Jasmy gets nothing, it's not a good sign. Not a good sign. I would be mindful, brother. Yeah. And welcome in, Heel. I'm glad that you stopped by the channel and asked a question. I hope that I gave you something there. It can be hard in that kind of scenario to give much hope, or not hope, but give you some insight, maybe something you weren't looking at. Pull up the relevant with the ChatGPT. Anyways, I'm keeping a look at this, right? Market very unknown, not like it used to be. Something is up. That's what I feel. And is it something incredibly negative? Is it just back and forth? Are we going to get some crazy bullishness? I don't know. I'm very much leaning personally towards next year being a good year for crypto. That is purely on gut intuition and my understanding of world events and where I think we're projected to be with a bunch of world events. I'm not a financial advisor. That is just what I'm doing right now. Regulation in the way, yep. And we have some regulatory things going through. There's so much. If you look worldly and in America specifically, which does seem to dictate a lot of times, there's a lot of bullish stuff going on for crypto. I mean, the president of the United States, by extension or directly, literally has his own crypto investing firm, platform, whatever you want to call it. World Liberty Finance, Trump Coin, all of these different things. What sense would it make for him to operate into those business, never allow it to breathe, crush it? Why did all these institutionals institutions buy all this crypto. Yes, a lot of them bought Bitcoin, but a lot of them bought Ethereum too. You think that they all wanted to lose money? Do they not care because they're going to play a 10, 15, 20 year game? Maybe. Is this all to shake people out? There you go. Another thing that I continue to say here that just makes sense to me. I don't have graphs and numbers to run by, but if we all bought, too many people got wind of this 4-year cycle and making a lot of money. They've seen too many people talking about it, right? So the institutions, of course, they missed out on a lot of the stuff in the early days, some of it due to regulatory reasons, right? And so if you bought at the lows and they bought at the lows, and we as retail and them as smart money all run up to the top of the bull market, and I'm at the top of the market and I'm trying to sell and they're trying to sell, is the pool of people who are going to want to buy at that time going to be enough for both of us? No, not at all. And especially when the pool of people who are supposed to be buying, the institutionals, offloading their tokens at the top of the market, like smart money likes to do, because they pretty much control the markets. They're not going to have anybody to sell to. They want to shake you out so that you can get to the top of the market and FOMO in, FOMO in with your money, and then they'll sell and dump on you, rinse and repeat. They've done it for as long as you can imagine in one form or another, right? That's just my thoughts. Simply just my thoughts there. All right. So it is the weekend. There's some more stuff we could go over. Kind of just want to keep a pulse on the market. The weekend streams, in order to make them viable and stuff, I'm not going to be doing 3-hour weekend streams most of the time. Sometimes I might. So shout out to everybody being here. I'm probably going to go ahead and hop off and not overexert it. We'll have plenty of things to talk about tomorrow. There'll be another stream tomorrow. Brain cells are same cells in the gut. Believe it. All right. And with that, talking about brain cells, got to raise that crypto IQ. I really would have loved to do the founders segment here on that Ghostware OS. That would have been really cool. We'll check on that again tomorrow. Join the Discord if you're not already in the Discord. We'll continue the conversations. You can hit that at Underground Crypto if you have something you want to say to me. Plenty of people know how to do that. Good night, everybody. And, stay underground, stay crypto. Thanks for stopping by. And if you need a cold storage wallet, the link is in the description. Take care, everybody. Have a good night. And the poll, let's go ahead and end the poll real quick. Let's see, are the results surprising? So 67% of people say if they were interested in a project, they would like me to go over the white paper. So is everybody by proxy saying you want me to go over the white paper of Ghostware? I should really write that down. White paper? Maybe that's something we can do tomorrow. Something to look forward to. Somebody remind me about it if you're really interested. All right. Once again, stay underground, stay crypto. I could say goodbye 100 times. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. Crypto Ron out.